Hi everyone. In today's session, I will be helping you guys understand and get an entire overview as to how to approach planets and their association with Vastu zones. I will be giving you the attributes that are associated to each of the zone and which zone each planet is associated to give you a quick understanding and overview as to what Vastu is and what's relevant it has as per astrology as well. So let us start off. Firstly, guys, coming into the introduction of it, to give you a clearer understanding, when we talk about Vastu in general, Vastu does not have one particular school of thought. You will be able to see multiple schools of thought, and approach to each of these schools of thought are very different. Nearly 50 to 60% of their core concepts remain the same, but their application and implementation may change. So, particularly in today's session, I will be trying to cover and help you guys understand one of the most used school of thought in Vastu, that is Vedic Vastu. So, understanding Vedic Vastu, you must understand that astrology plays a significant role as per Vedic astrology, and this combination of astrology and Vastu helps in creating and energizing spaces in a positive manner, also having these spaces balanced energetically. So each and every planet has its own influence, and each of the elements that is associated to also has its own influence, and the natural vastu of the space also has its own implied influence. So a combination of these work together to make sure the entire space is energized, hopefully in a positive manner, if and when done properly. So coming into the next one, what is the role of planets in Vastu? Firstly, each planet has, like I said, its own Vastu zone that it governs, and it has certain attributes that exhibits in each of these zones. So when you properly balance each of these zones, not only the space of Vastu is balanced, but even the astrological applications and the actual positive connotations attached to this, they are also kind of what you say, you can reap the benefits of it as well while the placement is done properly. So starting off with the first one, that is Surya. When I talk about Surya Dev or the planet Sun deals with energy. The basic source of light and energy is sun, right? And when we understand the movement of the sun, it happens from east to west, that is from the rising sun to the setting sun. So that is why the position given for the actual zone of Vastu is east, because the rising sun is told to be the most predominant one, which is a symbolism of new beginnings. So when you learn in detail the east zone or the sun in general, the planet sun in general, basically deals with anything that has to do with new beginnings, opportunities, leadership, or any attribute that you can associate with the sun or the actual qualities of the sun. So this can be either government related networking, government related, opportunities. All of these are associated to basically the planet sun. So some of the best zones to keep, or the best vastu spaces to keep here, are one, living room, second one being entrances, third you can have your puja places or puja units as well. These are the three most fundamental spaces that you can actually keep as per vastu. Apart from that, one other thing that the sun relates to is a lot of ego, and apart from that, its boldness, its identity. Along with that, it also represents certain amount of fame, name, and recognition, especially again in government-related matters. So all of this is ruled by sun. And when you understand the sense of sun, it comes in the attribute associated, one of the major ones is identity and sense of self-expression. So your charm, your expression, your actual identity for yourself, or self-identity and societal identity, all of them come under this. So having a properly balanced east zone is not only based on what space you're keeping here, but making sure the planetary aspect or attributes associated to it is not disturbed. Make sure you make both of these and place both of these properly to reap positive benefits in the east zone. The next that we have is the moon or the Chandra. The moon or the Chandra basically governs the northwest zone. When you understand the moon is exact opposite to the sun. The moon comes in the night time, so mostly this deals with darkness, reflection, shadow. This is something, since it's the darker side and the more rarer side, this deals completely with the inner self. That deals with intuition, it deals with all the femininity, it deals with like if you compare sun and moon, sun is more of the masculine side, while moon is more that deals with the feminine side, the intuition, the mother. So all of these attributes are associated with the moon. Another part that moon associates to is also your creativity, your self expression, your communication skills, your negotiation skills, your actual, as per Vedic Vastu, I'm saying, even your playing of your musical instruments, skill building for that, all of this is based in the northwestern zone. Some of the ideal things to keep in this zone can be your actual musical instruments can be placed here if you have a musical room in your house. Or if you have guest bedrooms or normal bedrooms, washrooms can also be placed here. So these are some of the best places that you can keep, or best vastu spaces or zones that you can keep in the house. One more attribute that the northwest is associated to is actually related to the emotional and mental well-being. Like I said, this is completely dealing with the inner self. So if you feel that you're having any emotional imbalance, or the entire atmosphere within the space or within the family members residing in the space is not good, then you can check out your northwest zone of your space, because this might be hampered and there might be wrong placements, or the zone or planetary aspects might be not properly balanced in a space. So look into those bits and you can balance it out. One of the easiest thing that you can do as a remedy in the northwest zone, if you do see that there is a problem here, is by keeping a wind chime. The reason why I say wind chime is when you actually place a wind chime and it moves because of the wind, the sound is created. And like I said, northwest deals with musical instruments or anything related to music or tunes. So having this here can be related to the attribute, and you will be able to kind of act as a remedy for it over here as well. This is one of the most simplest remedies that we have as per any zones compared in terms of remedies. The next thing that we have is your Mars or the Mangal. Now, Mars in general basically represents Lord Hanumanji. And as much as I would like to say, not only does the god and his attributes like protection, the loyalty, the wisdom, the righteousness, all of these are associated with Lord Hanumanji, but also the south zone of your, according to Vastu, is associated with name, fame, reputation, all of these attributes. Apart from that, even in south, if you, along with manifesting all of these and having these qualities and helping these qualities being grounded in your life by making these spaces vastu compliant and balancing out the astrological attributes, one other thing that you can look into this is the south zone is told to be one of the best zone to actually fall asleep. So if there's anybody here who is facing sleep issues or want to get a proper sleep after having a long day, which most of us do, especially keeping in mind of working professionals, what I would suggest is have a bedroom in the south zone and make sure the bed head or the placement of your head while sleeping is towards the south zone. Another pro tip to add to this is completely avoid the north zone, or your bed head or your head actually falling in the north or northeast zone on any of the bedrooms that you have of any space according to Vastu. But specifically in the south bedroom, either face it either to the east side or preferably being the first one, that is the south side. Okay, so that is regarding your Mars or your Mangal, that is your south zone. Next comes your Mercury or your north zone. Now, first thing when you hear about the north zone, irrespective if you know Vastu or not, is north is associated with money. Alright, so one of the major things that you would have heard around money is the Kubera statue. The reason I felt this was very important to emphasize this is because the north zone and Kubera somewhere interlinked, because when you understand mythology in detail, Kubera or Yaksharaj Kubera is the king of the wealth of the entire universe. He guards it along with his team. So actually having his figurine in the north zone in a well cleaned area and a proper placement of it on a table or any console or anything is going to help you reap the benefits. Okay, but please do note, when I talk about this, these remedies are simply to increase the energy flows. But major thing you have to look into is navigating or removing any Vastu doshas or astrological placements that are negatively done in the space first, and then incorporating these remedies into your space. So for those of you who want to bring in business acumen, for those of you who want to get better clarity of thought, For those of you who really want more monetary gains, for those of you who want to not, if you're running an edtech course or any courses as such, tuitions, where you have courses that you want to introduce and you want to make monetary benefits out of it, having this placement and zone done right plays a very, very important role. So having this is not only going to increase the possibilities and opportunities flowing into your life, but it's also going to give you the possibility of making more money through the same. So make sure again this is balanced out properly. And astrologically, like I said, this is dealt with Mercury, and Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. So the energy and the frequency at which this planet vibrates is comparatively higher than all the other planets. So that is why manifestation from here is also simpler and easier compared to the other ones. So make sure you balance out the space properly. Next, after Mercury, you have Jupiter. Now, Jupiter, like I said, is the planet that governs the northeastern side, or what you say, one of the most sensitive zones or spaces as per Vastu. The reason why I say this is the northeast basically deals with thought, and the attribute associated to the northeast is basically clarity of mind and clarity of thought. Apart from that, it basically is where you're able to kind of flow in your creativity very easily if the zone is balanced out properly. So any education related, also most of you must have heard from your family members, especially from an Indian context, is that they generally tell you to go sit in the northeastern side or face east or north or any space between north and east. I'm sure my own grandmother has told this, to be honest. So that this helps in getting better concentration and better clarity of thought to grasp in knowledge and to retain knowledge. So that is why having Jupiter here, because one, in an astrological perspective, Jupiter is the ruler of education, because he's known to be the guru, the mentor, the guide, the teacher, the instructor. So he's someone that guides you in the right path. So having this, firstly, having it decluttered, making sure there's no negative element sitting here, can firstly help in increasing these attributes. And in life also, you will be able to see, you'll be able to get actual guides, proper people to guide you and help you with anything that you have. Secondly, some of the zones that you can keep here is either your puja room or your workstations, or you can keep your meditation spaces. Any of these that help you align with the attributal properties of both the astrological way and the Vastu way, you can keep it here. Along with that, one other thing that this astrology deals with in terms of Jupiter is, I'm sure most of you might heard this one, especially if you're getting your birth charts, right, is that wherever Jupiter sits, it expands. So having Jupiter sitting in the northeastern zone, it helps to expand whatever it is. So for example, if you have your workstation there and you have creativity, it helps in giving you more creative ideas and better approaches. It expands it in like a huge exponential way. So make sure these places are properly zoned out. And some of the places to avoid over here is having a sleeping bedroom, having a kitchen, and definitely not having a washroom at no point. These three must be avoided at all costs. Having even a gym area over here must be avoided, because gym basically deals with heavy workout equipments. So avoid this as well. So yeah, that is about Jupiter and its association with the northeastern zone Vastu element. After Jupiter, we have Venus. Venus is something most of us are very fascinated with, because most of us are here trying to manifest and actually run behind, manifesting luxury, money, inflow of cash and all of that. But one thing you have to know in an astrological perspective regarding, Venus or planet Venus, is that when you understand Venus, it is associated with the goddess Lakshmi. And Lakshmi only comes into the place where, or gives prosperity for those who not only give but give generously. So one thing that I would tell as a remedy is, if you ever want to say that you receive it, always be in a place of giving it, even if it's in the smallest quantity. Just to give you an example, if you want to buy a new set of clothes or something really nice, or bring an entire wardrobe, one of the most things that we say is give alms or give something to the needy as well, because every single time you give, something better comes in. That is the logic behind it. So yeah, that is about it. So similarly, even in terms of money, if you want to invest even in a small thing, just use that amount and try to get back something else in another way. So that is how you go about doing in the southeastern zone. But coming into the basic relevance of Venus, Venus basically, like I said, deals with luxury, money, beauty, femininity to a certain extent, attraction, beautification. All of these comes in terms of Venus. And even some amount of cash flow over here also is dealt with Venus. So having this zone based out properly is very important. As per Vastu, the southeastern zone is relevant or related to the Venus planet, and since this Venus associated with the female or the feminine people of the house, to keep or make sure or basically to make sure that the female of the house are healthy, happy, make sure to keep a kitchen here, because that is only solving half of your Vastu dosha. So some of the, just to bridge about over here, some of the best places to keep your kitchen is in the southeast and your northwest zone. If you have an opportunity where you can keep a kitchen in the southeast, always take southeast as your first preference for kitchen. If not, you can go for northwest or west, but always make sure if you have a southeast kitchen, especially if it is for a residential space, then it's better you go for the southeastern zone, because it is going to help you reap a lot of benefits, and especially women of the house are going to be safer and healthier, and they're going to be also kind of going to act as that Lakshmi to help and bring you a lot more prosperity into the home. It is believed, so that is why. Okay. After that, you have your Saturn or your west side. When you talk about Saturn, Saturn is basically the god of karma, and in Vedic Vastu, what I have come to know is that when you have Saturn, even though this might be a little gender bias, Saturn is completely more nicer to the woman than the male of the house. So if you ever have a property that is having west facing open, or having an exposure or the facing of the houses towards the west, try to register the property in the females or the female person of the house than the male person of the house. This kind of does reduce the negative effects harming the space. But apart from that, coming to the west zone of the space as per Vastu, west is basically when you're exposing the west. The reason why I'm taking this is Shani is the master of karma. And when you understand karma, it is basically the deeds that you do, be it negative or positive, it is going to be repaid by God. The efforts are going to be repaid by God in that the same sense. So it's very, very important that you know to balance out the west zone, because Saturn, again, if you people are aware of it in astrological perspective, Saturn Mahadasha, Saturn Antardasha, Sade Sati, Small Panoti, all of these are linked with Shani, and these are the most testing phases of your life in an astrological perspective. Going through this, along with having your west zone of your space not balanced out properly, can give you very, very harsh repercussions, which can lead to extreme hurdles, extreme delays, extreme suffering. Sometimes it can lead to very catastrophic conditions happening in your life. So balancing out both of these plays a very, very important role, both in the astrological perspective and Vastu perspective. Some of the things that you can keep in the west zone is if you're into or wanting to make any gains or anything, you can keep your study tables or workstations over here. Apart from that, if you want, you can have a west bedroom. That is something that you can place over here. Preferably avoid having, it's not a big no-no, but it's good if you can avoid having a bathroom over here in the west zone, because west is linked with wish fulfillment and desire fulfillment. So those attributes might get blocked. But it is not a big no-no. You can work it out along with remedies. But yeah, this is something regarding the west zone, Shani planet. The next one I'm talking about is the southwest zone. So let me tell you this, as per variations in Vedic Vastu as well, some of them believe that Rahu is the governing planet of the southwest, and some believe both Rahu and Ketu are the governing planets of southwest, while some believe only Ketu is the planet that is governing the southwest. I personally follow the belief that Rahu is the planet alone being the planet that governs the southwest. And the reason why I say this is, even in a Vastu perspective, we generally tend to tell people or suggest people not to have openings, either plot entrance or house entrance from the southwest zone, because this causes Nazar Dosh, because Rahu sits there. Okay, and when you understand Rahu in detail in an astrological perspective, Rahu is the planet which causes extreme attachment, extreme hidden energy, manipulation. It is basically something that causes a sudden shift of events, be it positive, negative. As much as it can give you money overall, like just in a bit, it can also take away that amount of money in a bit. So it is that transformative, it is that fast, it is very, very, movement of it is very fast. And likewise, when you understand Rahu is not actually a planet, at least like I said in one of the school of thoughts I have learned from, Rahu does not actually have a planet that is associated to, it's called as the Chaya Graha. But according to a certain other schools of thought, it is also considered that Rahu and Ketu are Neptune and Pluto or Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, but one of these if I'm not wrong. But as per what I have been taught and what I have followed, Rahu is not an actual planet. It's a Chaya Graha, a shadow planet that is existed or taken in the atmosphere at a certain degree and then considered all the calculations based on that. And since this is a shadow planet, it's going to have a lot of hidden energies, a lot of intuitive energies, which can be good, which cannot be good. So having the southwest zoned out properly, both in terms of astrological perspective and vastu perspective, plays a very very important role, because if it is done properly, you can actually reap a lot of benefits, that is getting good amount of wealth or good amount of positive sudden improvements in your life. But if it's negatively done, like for example, if you have a well in the southwestern zone, or you have a pit dug in the southwestern zone for your underground water tank, this can cause major issues like deaths in the house as well. So this can be the kind of repercussions that you can face in extreme situations, so avoid it as much as possible. The last one that we have is the Brahmastan. So as per what I have been taught, or what I have, the school of thought that I follow in Vedic Vastu, the Brahmastan is basically associated with Ketu. Like I said, there are multiple people who associate the center of the space with multiple elements. But the core concept of Brahmastan basically remains, this is the energy vortex of the space. This is the center of the space. And when you know the mythological story of Brahmastan, Brahmastan is basically when the universe came into existence, Lord Brahma basically had a lotus emerging from the navel of his stomach, through which the entire universe came into existence. So this is where the energy was, the universe was created, and this is the place where the most energy exists to actually bring something into manifestation or actual tangible products. So that is why do not make sure that this Brahmastan, no matter what planet is here or whatever, try to keep it as empty as possible, try to keep it as lightweight as possible. And that is why even in relating it to Ketu, why we take it here as is because Ketu is associated with detachment. It is the exact opposite of Rahu, if you want to sell in terms of attributes. Ketu completely deals with spiritual growth, detachment, loneliness, isolation, emptiness. All of these are dealt with Ketu. So when you combine the astrological attributes of Ketu along with the Brahmastan logistics, the best thing as per Vastu that is suggested is to keep the Brahmastan empty. You can either have courtyard spaces with nothing placed in the center, or even if you have anything that you want to place, keep it lightweight furnitures. Do not make it too huge, heavy, like partition walls must be avoided, any storage blocks must be avoided, sofa sets, dining areas, storage rooms, all of these must be avoided. Kitchens are a big no-no in this space. So try to keep the space as light and ventilated as possible. And yeah, that is about the Brahmastan area. Now that you've been able to understand the different 8 zones and their associations, that is 8 plus 1 zones and their associations to the planets that they have as per astrology. Here you can see the overview of planets and their Vastu zones. This is just a quick understanding of whatever we covered, so you can definitely look into it for a quick relapse. But ending it, the next part I want to cover it before I actually end the thing is how do planetary influences manifest in Vastu. So like I said, when you understand the sun's influence, the sun basically having a building in the east facing kind of allows the maximum sunlight, natural ventilation, and these further help in increasing the attributes association by giving new beginnings, bringing in expressions, vitality, energy, authority. All of these can be incorporated in your space. Next, moon, like I said, when you're talking about the northeast deals with emotional stability, so balancing it out is going to bring emotional harmony within the people of the house. Mars, or the south one, or the south zone, when balanced properly, can help in getting name, fame, reputation attributes. And if you're looking into the space attribute, you can't get better sleep over here having a bedroom in the south zone. Mercury's influence basically deals with intellectual, basically helps in getting intellectual opportunities and also money making opportunities if you're looking into having courses and all that. Jupiter's influence helps you become more grounded, gets you better clarity of thought. If you're interested in spirituality, it can help you gain better spiritual, inclination, all of that. Venus, again, having kitchens over here is going to help you get a lot of inflow of money, opportunities, luxury, possibilities, all of that. Saturn's influence, having bedrooms over here or workstations over here, can help in gains and get better gains or profits from investing in these relationships or business relationships. Rahu and Ketu's influence, like I said, in Southwest. Southwest is basically entirely talking about stability. It talks about, like I said, this is where most of the energy is dispersed in the space. So this is one of the most important zones, and the center of the house of the Brahmastan is the center or vortex, energy vortex. So here again, if this is kept calm and it's balanced out properly, you'll be able to leave a lot of stability within the space. So since that we have covered all of this, I would like to say that this is a very, very quick overview of what are the relations of astrological planets along with Vastu directions and the attributes that they're associated to. But it's very, very important that you know that these are very generic ones. If you want to understand which zone is very important to you as per Vastu, or as per your astrological chart, please do consult people from multiple disciplinaries that either have both astrology knowledge, Vastu knowledge, or even crystals knowledge sometimes, to help you get most benefits and to help you reap positive environments into your space. So saying that, thank you very much.